Welcome, everybody. It's another edition of the Sports Hole. I'm your host, Luke. With me, as always, XFL Jim, Rock and Roll Manny Goldberg. Good on, boys.
What's up, boys?
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, what a day.
Weekend. What a weekend of fall.
Well, she started with you first, Jim. I before we get to the ball, I got to know because I'm a gossiping little woman.
I love it, girl.
I'm just a dainty little gossiping queen. How did it go with the old lady at the house? Did the parents approve? Did the brother approve?
It went really good. The whole family loved her. Both grandmas approved. Mom approved. Dad approved. Yeah, it's great. The food was great. And then since we did our Thanksgiving for my family so early in the morning, we actually had time, and I got to go to her family's for the end of their Thanksgiving and play some card games. They did.
Did you talk to them about spring football?
No, I did talk to them about gambling a little bit, though. You got to sneak that in. You got to sneak it in.
Yeah. So when they say Jim, do you go, no, please call me XFL Jim?
I do. When people meet me for the first time, that's what I say.
Yeah.
Please, please, XFL Jim. We're not that close yet.
Steal any of your family's medications or anything?
Nope. I mean, maybe if she snuck away.
That's pretty awesome that not only did you do yours, but you went to hers. So
yeah, it worked out.
Everything in.
It worked out double. And then like Thursday night, I don't know if it was something I ate or what, but I just started to feel awful. Like, got the fever and I was just feeling exhausted. Friday, I was almost out of commission. It took all out. I was just hopped up on every bit of medication in my apartment that I could find just to watch football.
Well, there you go. Well, congratulations.
It took a lot of effort to watch that Nebraska game, baby. Fuck.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
You know, I was going to say real quick about it. I watched that game in honor of you, and I was rooting hard for Nebraska.
You can't say it wasn't entertaining. You can't say it wasn't entertaining.
I was going to say it was the best, worst game I've ever seen.
Agreed.
It was riveting. It was entertaining. It was drama. It was like, oh, my God, Nebraska's going to win. And then a second later, oh, my God, I was going to win. And I felt dearly for you because with a minute to go, I'm like, they got it.
Yep. I think it was the perfect culmination of it was the perfect send off to the Big Ten West.
Did Nebraska qualify for a bowl this year? Oh,
I'm pretty sure we're the longest running Power 5 team without making a bowl game right now.
How long has it been?
To win that.
It's been since 2016.
Oh my! So you're talking
Nebraska has not made a bowl game in 7 years.
7 years.
They had a decent year. They improved. They won 5 games. They
top 10 rush defense in the country, baby.
Yeah.
How do you feel as a fan for year one, Matt Rule?
Hopeful. I feel hopeful because the defense. I hope we keep Tony White. It does feel like we're really just like a quarterback and a couple skill guys away. So there's a lot of proof there, and if the defense would have also been dog shit, I would have been like kind of floundering. But I feel hopeful.
I think you ended up with a better record than Colorado, though.
Right?
We did. We had one more win. They had 4. We had 5.
Amazing how it's funny because Colorado ended I mean, their season was what it should be.
It just fell apart.
It didn't like fall apart. It was
because they had a lot of one-score losses. They had a lot of close games,
and they were overachieving still, even though that record is trash in the stat box. But like, for a team that won like one game the year prior,
the
thing to watch out for Colorado to see how well they improve next year. Is to see how well they do in the lineman recruiting category.
Offense and defense
because
line.
I will trust Dion to be able to get the transfer portal and raid that like crazy.
Yeah.
The one position you can't really get from the transfer portal is the offensive line.
And that's
they need that cohesion and they need that.
Shadur was getting killed. I mean, he's got a bad back, and I'm like, some of those games he was getting hit 20 plus times a game.
Oh, it's brutal.
Well, it looks like schoolyard football,
I know.
Like just drop back and
they might lose their OC too. Like I don't know what the way I will say this to like anti-Dion's credit, the way he was kind of managing things like staff wise near the latter half of the season did not impress me. I don't know why he sort of like switched things with the OC, because the offense was never the problem all year. I don't understand what he was doing.
Well, it's interesting though, because it's like, okay, Dion, now you're dealing with adversity.
Giving up a dog, guys. Be right back.
Okay, Matty. Like you're dealing with adversity when you've been running through the SWAC conference, and now you started off strong at a Power 5, and now shit kind of hit the fan. So that, you got to see how you deal with that. And I don't know.
I'm pretty sure their schedule next year doesn't get that much easier.
They never lost that Stanford game. That one is going to haunt them for a long time.
What conference are they going to?
They're going to the Big 12.
I'll be right back, boys.
So they avoid, obviously it's the Big 12. They lose having to play like Washington, Oregon, USC, UCLA. They're not playing them anymore. They're not playing Oregon State either. They're still playing Utah.
Right. Utah is going to be like the king of that conference, right?
Well, think about how good Arizona's doing at the end of this season, too.
Arizona, too, climbing up.
But then you still have K-State. You still have
that have been consistently good for a while.
You got K-State still. Top 25
but you're not going to have a Texas or an Oklahoma.
No, you're not going to have like any of the playoff giant contenders.
Right. This is almost on par with Conference USA at this point, I think.
No, the Big 12? No. Oklahoma State's playing in the conference championship right now.
Oh, brutal.
Kansas State's a top 25 team. Kansas State won the conference last year. TCU was in the playoff last year.
I know, but I'm saying as far as blue bloods, there's no blue bloods.
There's no blue bloods. But I think the Big 12 has the thing that – so, like, the SEC and the Big 10, obviously the tops are the tops.
Yeah.
I think the core and the bottom of the Big 12 is at a higher level than the core and bottoms of a lot of other conferences.
Okay.
When your worst team right now is how Kansas is looking and how Iowa State is looking, I would put those teams over, like, almost most of the Big 10 West.
Okay.
Over a lot of the bottom of the SEC.
I get that, but the also ACC. Like the Big 10 and
they're boosted
SEC
by the top.
Are now getting,
that's the
more
thing
teams too that are boosting them up,
But guess what? You win the Big 12, you get an automatic bid to the playoffs.
Maybe.
No, it's the top.
With the new
conference champion, baby. Yeah. You get an automatic bid if you win the Big 12.
That's nuts. So you guys want to just go through college first?
We could do that.
Okay.
It was the week. It was rivalry week.
This was
Saturday to remember. It was one of the best Saturdays. The drama.
When it's rivalry weekend, and I don't even want to talk about the Egg Bowl at all, it was fucking crazy.
I mean, 4th and 31.
Oh,
you got Michigan.
That game was stupid awesome.
You got Michael Penix basically exhausted, overwhelmed by emotions after the crazy. Was it they called the Grey Cup?
No, the Apple Cup.
The Apple Cup. What a dumb name.
Maddie, I hate you so much.
It was a hell of a game, though. And then Florida State wasn't that bad.
It wasn't for like the first half, and then Florida just started farting on themselves.
Yeah, they had a bad year. Like the one thing I got to say about Nebraska, what's hopeful is like Mike Norvell's first year wasn't so good at Florida State, and look what he's done. So sometimes it takes a guy a year to kind of.
I just go look back at Matt Rule's like year 2s and year 3s and how he elevated the programs there.
Baylor, the first year was not good. Second year, almost won it all.
Yeah.
But college is great. Luke's Michigan, my Michigan, a very some of the passes that kid, what's the quarterback's name again?
JJ McCarthy?
Some of those passes were beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I really felt like it came down to who was the better quarterback. Both very evenly matched. Ohio State actually started running the ball in the second half. They kind of played Michigan ball on a couple drives, just running it down their throat. But, Michigan was the better team. Now, I will say this. I'm happy that next year there's going to be 12 teams. But this was a playoff game. Next year, there won't be a playoff game atmosphere.
Yeah, I don't even know if this will be like the last game of the year again. I don't know what the format is going to be.
Yeah, we don't know what the conference schedules are going to look like.
Yeah, this game was so intense. Now I'm just like any playoff win or anything for Michigan beyond this is just icing on the cake, because this was just the atmosphere of this game was just nuts.
It was like the perfect game.
Yeah.
It was so good. Everything leading up to it, the game itself, like it, I was worried. I'm glad it wasn't a blowout. I didn't think it would be, but the last couple years, it's gotten like blowout territory.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was perfect. And then the offenses were great. Couple key defensive moments, and then that drive for Michigan where they just marched down the field and were just killing them play after play. I mean, I'm maybe a little confident. They got kind of saved by that roughing the passer. Like
no,
they got saved by a pen. I think they got saved a little bit by. I don't think it would have mattered for the game. I just think that drive, it was beautiful. It was disgusting, and I loved it. That was my favorite part of the game, was that drive.
Yeah, when they answered, when Ohio State did that ground and pound drive and scored, it looked and tied it up. It was like, oh, the momentum is over. Ohio State's got this. They're locked in. They've worn Michigan down.
Yeah.
And then Michigan came right back and did the same thing. And it was like, holy shit, to answer like that after just such a momentum swinging drive by Ohio State was so impressive.
I think I had the game at 3.5. So that last field goal helped me cover the spread, which was great. And
beat the spread, baby.
You know, the quarterback for Ohio State will be better next year. I think it'll improve. They'll lose Harrison, I think.
100% they lose Harrison.
They'll be in the mix because they always.
He's got unfinished business.
What do you think of, like, it seems like it's almost like for Ohio State to coach there, and I saw this with, I think it was Earl Cooper back in the 90s, but you can win every game, but if you lost to Michigan, your job isn't safe. And
well, it was Earl Bruce, and then it was John Cooper after that.
Yeah.
And both of them had a hard time with Michigan.
And the thing is, like, he had a good year. He's a good coach. I mean, he kind of walks funny. His beard's a little weird. He's got rosy red cheeks, but
sounds stupid when he's trying to motivate.
All his crime is that he loses to Michigan.
That's okay. Here's the deal, though. It's not going to matter as much anymore, though. I hate to say it.
That's what I mean. This game isn't going to mean that much.
Right, because you will still get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, the time of a 1-loss and possibly even a 2-loss team missing the playoffs are going by the way.
Yes.
You know, like you're going to see 2-loss teams
absolutely
being in the playoffs. So, yes, these regular season games, it's like, because you have just the hated rivalry itself, but then the fact that there's only 4 playoff slots available means this is an all or nothing game for the most part, except for last year when Ohio State stuck in and still almost won it, you know?
Well, like the Wolverines, with the way you look at it is last week was a playoff game. This week is an easier game, but a playoff game.
Yeah.
And then you got 2 more playoff games.
Yeah.
So hopefully. Like Washington, obviously Oregon is a playoff game. Winner gets in. I don't know how Washington can get up for another intense game. I have no clue how they can do that.
Yeah, do you think are there going to be still Jim, you probably know, is there still a conference championship then next year?
Yeah, they say that there will be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think I mean the criteria, I don't know how they're going to determine who plays in it, because if you guys paid any attention, if you guys Matty, one of the fun things was paying attention to the lower conferences. In the Mountain West, UNLV lost to San Jose State, so there was a 3-way tie going in.
Yeah.
They had to use computer rankings to determine who played in the conference championship game.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. You're going to see some weird tiebreakers, because obviously with the new Big Ten rules, you could somehow have theoretically maybe 3 1-loss teams.
Well, also,
and they don't play each other.
You could see Michigan, Ohio State 3 times next year. You know, like a regular season game, conference championship, because there's not going to be any divisions.
I'd readily admit that'd be stupid. That would be stupid.
Yeah, I know. It feels real dumb. Hopefully there's some sort of mechanism in place to, you know.
In basketball, one of the things that's always weird for the going into the March Madness tournament, I mean, sometimes it's good not to win your conference tournament, because you basically got to win the whole thing now. You got to win 11 games in a row, 11 tough games, which is almost impossible. I think sometimes it's not the worst thing to lose in your conference tournament. So,
well, the thing in the conference championship, at least, is theoretically, if you win the highest rated conference champions, the top 4,
yeah,
get a bye.
sure.
So you get like that extra week of
No, I
preparation,
get it, but
and like if you're ranked number 1 overall, you get to play the winner of the 5-12 game.
yeah. I mean, it changes everything because like Alabama's 4th and 31, about to be completely eliminated. They probably are the 12th seed if they lose to Auburn. Even if they lose to Georgia, they still might be the 12th seed. You know, like they can still get in the dance where they had to make that play to get into the dance.
It's good to see something go Alabama's way finally, though.
Yeah.
You know,
I
Nick
had the
Saban.
over on that game, and it was 48, and it was 44 when he threw that pass, and I was theoretically ripping up my fake ticket. I mean, it was a pretty nice surprise.
What? Okay, so let's talk about college football scenarios, though.
Yeah.
Too.
There's
Like,
a lot. There's a lot.
It's a lot going on. You know, it would be hard to see Alabama win in Texas. Texas not in a one-loss Alabama and a one-loss Texas. I mean, because in theory, you could almost make a case for no SEC teams. If Alabama wins and Texas wins and Texas has a victory over them, then it's like, okay, we can't put Alabama in over Texas.
Oh, the committee would definitely try and argue that, but I don't know how you could.
Say there's about 6 or 7 teams that can get in.
There's 8.
8.
Probably so 7. State, I mean, the Ohio State is the least likely of the top 8 to make it.
Shot.
Very minimal.
No,
very
minimal.
No, they would need like Michigan to lose to Iowa.
Yeah.
They would need Oregon to win. They would need Florida State to lose, and they would need Bama to, and they would Texas to lose, and they would need like Bama to lose.
The
or
only
something
teams
like
that can get into me are Washington, Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State probably has a 2% chance, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and Florida State. And I think that's it.
The easiest scenario is just Georgia wins, Michigan wins, Washington wins, Florida State wins. There's your playoff.
No way Washington's winning that game.
There's your don't even say that, Matty. There's
a
shot.
Now could they make a case for Florida State? I mean, Florida State lost their QB, right? So
but they have Florida State is an undefeated conference champion.
Who's their best win?
They play Louisville, right?
It will be Louisville, but right now it's LSU.
Okay, so. Right. And then
LSU, Clemson
Texas also beat Alabama. You know, like but that would be
I think Louisville can beat.
There has never been an undefeated conference champion left out of the playoffs.
Okay.
That would be unheard of.
I think Louisville can beat them. I think Louisville's going to beat them.
If Louisville beats them, then you're set. Then that's that.
And then Texas might get in. Texas might sneak in. Then you got to figure out Georgia, Alabama, what you want to do. If Alabama wins, does Georgia get in?
The worry for me would be is if, say, Oregon wins, Texas wins, Alabama wins. I'm worried Oregon gets left out, and that would suck.
Yeah, especially with how good they've been playing after that.
The good thing right now is they do have Oregon ranked 5th above both Texas and Alabama, so that kind of levies that a little bit.
Yeah.
The thing with Oregon,
hopefully they stay consistent.
If Oregon beats the shit out of them,
they're gonna have.
If they beat the shit out of them,
they're a 9-point favorite. Last I checked. I mean, do you think that's insane?
I personally think that's crazy. It's still a rivalry game. Washington is still a very good team. I get Oregon's been stomping fools.
Yeah.
But the 9 points seems crazy to me.
Washington's been winning by the hair of their teeth for 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
Yeah. You know who did that last year, Matty? Fucking TCU, and they made it to the goddamn playoffs. They lost 1 game all year.
But they lost.
True. And it was the conference championship game.
And Washington has no margin of error here. None.
Yeah,
just saying.
I think
I like them too. I love Phoenix. I love their season. It's a tough game.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm like,
that's one of so there's like a couple conference game. There's a couple I'm not super excited on. Like I'm going to be honest. I don't really think Iowa has a shot against Michigan. I think
That's
there's
the only
no
one
shot.
I think is kind of wide open because, and it's not like Iowa's, it's just their style of play.
Are you worried, Luke?
Not, I mean, I don't want to be
Michigan
cocky,
will play
just,
Iowa football and they'll just do it better.
Yeah, all I gotta do is just,
exactly. That's
like that's
the
the whole
difference.
thing. They'll just play the same style and just do
The
it
fact
better.
that Iowa, go ahead.
Michigan beat Nebraska, what, 40-0? Iowa could barely beat Nebraska. I mean,
exactly.
It's just the level of talent.
Well, you saw what Penn State did to Iowa.
Yeah.
Penn State embarrassed Iowa.
Yeah. I mean, anything can happen, but it's
no, they're like the worst
unlikely.
10-2 team I've ever seen on the face of the
can't believe they're 10-2.
I know, it's insane. They barely beat anybody.
It's crazy. They had a legit shot to go 11-1.
I don't even know what their average points on the season is. I wonder if that Brian Ferentz tracker is still up.
No, because he's getting let go anyway.
Yeah, but maybe they still have it anyways because that'll tell you what the offense is.
They still win 10 games every year. It's crazy.
Do you know what Iowa's offense is ranked?
130.
I don't know. They're 128
they did
FBS
stop
team.
The tracker once they announced
the Iowa Hawkeyes scoring offense, they are ranked 124th.
That's like my high school class ranking. I think I was 117 out of 141.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I don't feel like
they're ranked 7th on defense.
Playing almost any other team like a Maryland or even a Rutgers or whatever, I would have some, but like even this 10-2 Iowa team just doesn't feel like a threat to anybody.
Well, they can't.
I kind of want to see really, really bad. I would love to see Iowa versus USC.
That'd be fun.
God.
I would love that. So I've seen a couple bowl predictions. It looks like it might be Iowa Ole Miss, which also would be kind of fun.
Yeah,
take the over.
Nope, take that fucking under, baby.
No, over.
I mean,
Caleb Williams won't be playing.
You got to know that Iowa can't run shit up. By the way, that's another problem I have with the bowl games there, Jimbo, because I'm following Jed Fish.
Love Jed Fish.
And he's talking about the ball game, and he's like, yeah, we're going to have a couple guys sit out for the NFL, and it's a good chance to get kids in the games that don't usually play. It's college football. It's not the pros. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you want us to put money on these games, and we don't even know who's playing?
He doesn't
chaos
factor. Money on these games.
Speaking of bowl games, hey boys, JMU and Jacksonville State get to go to bowls.
I was wondering when we're going to talk about that. Yeah.
They're going.
Yeah, I have to say that.
That's because you just don't like real football, Maddie. You're a.
Wait, they are going to bowls? Wait,
yeah, they're going bowling.
That is so exciting.
Wait, there was a thing where I thought they couldn't get a bowl in their first season.
There wasn't enough 6-6 teams.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
So they're going bowling.
Good. And that's is that Rich Rod's team?
Jacksonville State's Rich Rod. JMU's just JMU.
Okay. They're just one unit.
Trent Dilfer coaches one of those teams.
UAB is Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, University of Alabama Birmingham.
And they're dog shit.
Yeah. He'll get him around. He'll turn him around.
I doubt it. He still didn't have one of my favorite lines of the whole year where his wife gets uglier every loss.
Well, yeah. I mean,
okay.
I'm sure she appreciated that.
I bet she did.
I don't quite. What does that mean?
I don't know. I think he's just not in the mood when he loses.
I mean, it's when he goes home, he's in a bad fucking mood, and he doesn't want to fuck.
Just calls his wife an ugly bitch and goes to bed.
Yeah.
Is that what he does?
You fucking ugly bitch. We lost again, you bitch.
How many conference championship games are you guys excited for?
Probably 4.
Ooh, yeah.
4 or 5.
Pretty much all of them except the Big Ten one.
Pac-12 Friday night.
I think literally every single one except for Michigan, Iowa. Maybe I honestly think
it's still you're gonna watch it because you're curious to see what's gonna happen. But
yeah, of course.
I mean, it's highly unlikely I will win. It's literally a 14, 15 point spread, in my opinion.
I'm trying to think of the scenario it would even look like. I think JJ McCarthy would have to get hurt. We'd have to put in.
You'd have to have
Yeah.
3 pick sixes because they're not gonna like just move the. They haven't moved the
Right.
ball against anybody, and Michigan's got a better defense than everybody. So, like, are you telling me?
It's a pick six, it's a blocked punt for a touchdown, it's a return touchdown, and then it's a safety.
Or all the Michigan players get diarrhea and they can't play, and then like they got to get Jim Harbaugh's son to play or something, or his father, Jack Harbaugh, something crazy like that. The whole team gets COVID and they gotta bring in the intramurals.
I don't know. The intramurals might still stand a chance here.
I was going to be excited for the MAC championship, but I hope Miami of Ohio wins. But their quarterback got.
See, this is like we come on,
Maddie. Do you know who the quarterback is of the Miami Redhawks?
I do not.
Brett Gabbert.
Is he Blaine Gabbert?
He is.
Son,
brother.
That's a much. How old is Blaine Gabbert? I feel like
he's got to be like 34. Guess what
he's
team he's
brother.
on right now?
He's a brother.
Like
he's on a very good team.
Both parents? Is it like half brother?
No. What team is Blaine Gabbert on right
now? I don't know.
Chiefs.
Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, he's like the new king backup. Like it's great because he doesn't get hit. He'll back up another 5 years, collect like 10 mil a year for doing nothing. It's pretty cool life, if you ask me.
Yeah, go Blaine Gabbert.
And he can get another ring. He's got a ring with the Bucks.
I'm rooting for him.
Rings.
But great weekend.
I'm also excited for the New Year's Six Bowl race for which G5 team's going to end up playing in the New Year's Six Bowl.
Do you think Arizona makes it
to a New Year's Six Bowl?
Yeah.
No.
What about Penn State?
Maybe. I mean,
they're so boring,
dude. But I will say this: I don't care how they looked all year. Penn State in bowl games has been nothing but classics for like the last 4 or 5 years.
That's true, but definitely Ohio State.
Well,
Ohio State for sure.
I mean, Washington.
Yeah.
If they lose.
Okay, guys. So I gotta ask you now.
There's a lot.
Michigan beat Ohio State, does this kind of put this cheating scandal shit to rest?
It will never. Coming from a guy who used to root for the Patriots, it never does. Like I still see the comments about him as cheater. So it never goes away.
I was going to have a question for you, Luke. If this is Harbaugh's last year, how would you feel about having Sharon Moore step forward and become the head coach based on his performance from the last 3 weeks?
I don't know. Like I was super impressed with his play calling.
He's looking really good
sure this week. He has looked good. I don't know. There's a lot that goes into a coach, so it's one of I don't know. Like I like Mike Hart a lot too, our running back coach.
That's fair.
You're frozen by the way.
I mean, but Sharon did
he did a great job
this week.
Very good job.
And so I don't know. Like I honestly don't know. Like now we're at a level where we're beyond like even the Michigan I grew up with, where we're like plowing through the Big Ten each year.
No, I know this has been
you just have that one other step. You just have to get into the post, like do something in the postseason.
So like we're like, and it's hard, man. So I don't know. I wouldn't hate it if it happened. I know that much. We'll see. I don't know. It's hard when you have someone like Harbaugh come in who's been to a freaking Super Bowl, and almost won, and has been successful everywhere he went. As to anybody else that's doesn't have those kind of creds, but
it won't affect the first year, but the third year it will affect. Like next year it probably won't affect, but when you really got to start recruiting and really bringing in your own guys.
You often don't know until a couple of years because, like, remember Oregon and Mark Helfrich when he took over?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, he made the playoffs his first year.
Yeah, he went to the national championship. He did better than Chip. He got further than Chip Kelly ever got, and they couldn't seal the deal. And then after that, it was just a decline. And I mean, he's never to be heard from again.
Exactly.
Wonder what he's up to.
Probably
coaching high school or something.
Probably does analyst stuff.
Probably.
Yeah. But hey, I just wanted to read this thing. I sent this to you guys during the game, but the boards, the boards in college football and sports are just
the message boards are the best.
Days. So this was one before the game. that was talking about how Michigan was going to cheat during the Ohio State game. And this is actual people. It's the AI tools they have, instant access to during the game that worries me the most. We signal in a play. Their video recording devices capture the signal and their AI system decodes it instantly. Their OC and DC are alerted by an auto prompt from an AI with the exact play. All this in no more than 4 seconds. This is a home game, and I'm sure they have every technological edge in place and ready to go. I seriously think the Big Ten should send in the security firm to sweep the building for this type of setup. The cheaters have proven they will go to any lengths to beat us.
If that's the case,
I love fan boards
then let them win, because if they can figure that out, they deserve to win.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they have potentially life-saving technology, but they use it just to win a ball game. I like that.
Also, if they were really cheating in that way, no shot they got caught.
No,
it was a much dumber way.
I just think it was one guy, that was trying to get any edge he could. I don't think it really gave us much of an advantage if it did at all.
No, probably not. I don't think it gave much of it. It was just stupid. Like how they got caught. It was so stupid.
I'll never forget, Luke. This guy called in WFA and the Mike Francesa after the Patriots Seahawks, the interception. And he claimed that somehow the Patriots got in the Seahawks in Russell Wilson's helmet and told him to pass the ball. And I think that's right up there.
That's real good.
That's right up there for sure. Yeah. I mean, it is nuts. Hopefully this shit can simmer down a little bit. It's funny, but it's also getting to a point where hey, dude, these kids are 18, 19.
Well, let's fucking chill
for a minute,
I actually felt for Brian Day because it looked like he understood the magnitude of the game and he understands it. And he looked absolutely just defeated afterwards. Like he did let a whole state down, but he had that look where the whole thing was on his shoulders and he blew it for everybody.
He's too conservative sometimes. His play calling,
it's like he's playing not to lose. There were a couple times where it was people thought he should have gone for it on 4th down and things like that.
No, I agree. There was a couple in the first quarter where you show your balls.
Sharon Moore was doing letting the halfback pass it and then bringing in a backup QB just to run it.
Loved it.
You know what you have to ask yourself, I think, as an offensive, when you have the ball in offense and it's like a 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. You go, what would the other team want me to do here? And I think you got to ask yourself, obviously Michigan wants you to punt. So don't make it easy on them. Have some balls. Show you got balls.
Yeah.
I'll even give it up. Dan Lanning, it didn't work against Washington. Every 4th down, it didn't work. But he showed that he had balls and he was going to be consistent and that they were going to make Washington uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And what's his face? Red Nose doesn't do that. Red Cheeks.
Old Chipmunk himself.
Yeah, with the weird beard.
It's like a Mr. Rogers puppet.
It is a weird beard, yes.
Well, see, because he dyes it. Dyed beards never look good. They just
He doesn't look like. He looks like he's in the hunting, he looks like he's in the camping. He doesn't look like a football coach.
Well, it's not even when he's yelling and he's trying to get people riled up. He sounds so corny,
Harbaugh is a football coach,
right? Harbaugh would probably
Harbaugh is insane.
He holds meetings when he's taking a big dump. Get in here, come here.
Yeah,
First of all, this is how you take a shit.
He made a very funny comment about how he compared something you don't want to see something like seeing your mom in a 2-piece bathing suit. I think he made a comment like that. That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, it's old school shit.
Yeah.
All right, so we can. I can't wait for the chaos this weekend in college.
I can't wait for the chaos to unfold over the next months because this is pure chaos where it's coaching carousel, it's transfer portal. Transfer portal's going nuts already.
I guess since we're on college football, we'll just mention a few of the notes that we have. Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Michigan State all hired new coaches. Michigan State poached theirs from Oregon State.
Yeah, love that hire. Jonathan Smith is a great coach.
I love the generic name, too.
It was kind of also like a perfect poaching for him because he's an Oregon State alum. So the fact that Oregon State's in this weird like spot is kind of the perfect timing to get him.
Where's Mississippi State hired Jeff Levy? Where's this guy from?
He was the OC at Oklahoma, previously the OC at Ole Miss, and he was at UCF. He's a Bryles guy, so he has that kind of offense.
Right. And my so Texas went a little more conservative this time with Elko from Duke, and then gave him a much smaller contract, but it's incentive.
Well, he was there. He's used to he was the defensive coordinator for a few years.
Well, remember, remember they wanted Stoops first. They wanted Mark Stoops, and they were just the fan base was going to throw a fit.
Dude, Elko will do fine.
I don't know if he.
They were better when he was there, so
they were,
and he turned Duke around. I mean, he had 2 great years with Duke. Fantastic.
I just don't know if anyone can. Texas A&M is one of these weird schools.
Yeah,
I feel like it's the booster culture in Texas A&M is crazy. And I don't know if anyone can really fully succeed there. When have they been successful ever?
Johnny Football 1 year.
Was that successful? What did they do? Did they win the SEC?
For them,
did they win? Like when did they? Yeah, but they won it. Like when Jimbo got hired,
Alabama on the road.
Jimbo got hired. They put a fucking national championship trophy mantle in the building. These people are crazy.
Well, why did they're so high on Jimbo Fisher, who basically, Winston was the best player in college football by far. And, he has Winston it's like Gary, what's his face, who used to coach Chesnick or whatever, used to coach Auburn.
Gene Chizik, baby.
Yeah. Had
current,
Cam Newton.
Current DC at University of North Carolina.
Exactly.
Well, my favorite hire is Petrino is now back at Arkansas.
He's OC at Arkansas.
He goes back, man. They all take him back. He went back to Louisville. He went back. Now he's back at Arkansas.
You know what it reminds me of? There's a comedy club that I started at, and the owner of the club would fire all these bartenders for skimming, and they had all these systems of skimming the register, and he would hire them back like a year later because he realized like they were better than training somebody new who didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Right.
And these people would get like second or third chances, and they would always get fired for being scumbags. And you would just be like, oh, he'd hire him over and over. And Petrino's like that because it's like, well, at least he knows the building and he knows the system. He's got a good track record.
Sorry, that club owner is just lazy. That's
I guess, but
you
like,
just don't hire people like that.
Petrino,
I mean, I don't like the way he went out last time with the neck brace and the 18-year-old lover. Yeah. Like that's like a Me Too situation, pretty much. And like to hire him back after that, I could see him going.
It's hilarious to me.
It's really like, what the fuck are they thinking? Like,
he's kind of been like out of the limelight for a while, so
he went back to Louisville, and
he's been at A&M the whole year, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't trust him around my daughter. I'll tell you that.
I don't know. I thought Pittman needed to really get this OC hire down. I don't know if he did.
So is your boy Chase really upset?
He's just kind of surprised and kind of beside himself with it. I mean, Petrino's had good offenses in the past. Who knows?
Next thing you know, I'll be coaching the Falcons.
He does good things with quarterbacks.
Well, maybe if they get Teddy Bridgewater in the portal, can bring him back.
I don't know about you. I love Northwestern keeping their guy.
Yeah, they won some games they had no business winning too.
The fact that Northwestern won 7 games this year, I have David Braun's my coach of the year. There's no way they should have been anything more than like 2 wins.
Yeah, that was a pretty tough.
Blew my mind
way to start the season.
Man, teams get better when you don't put him through hazing, apparently.
Yeah.
Also, Michigan great. Brady Hoke retired. This was his last game.
Right. Yeah. They're not going to a bowl?
No, I mean, I don't know if he's coaching in the bowl. He might not be coaching in the bowl.
Right. No. Hot dog flavored water smeller. Brady Hoke gone.
And Dana Holgerson gone.
Oh, yeah. He got fired. That's right.
My boy Dana got fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do well.
Did you guys see one of the rumored coaches for Indiana now?
Who's that? Dana?
No. One John Gruden.
I love it. Welcome back, John.
We got groomers again. We're back on it's just like Tennessee.
Listen up, all you N-words, gather around.
I hope his brother helps coach as well. His brother's been taking shots at
Oh God, his brother's such a degenerate.
Did you ever see that video of his brother like smoking a cigarette with some young girl and just like, and you're like, you know, his wife and kids are at home and he's trying to bang some 22-year-old girl like he's like a fucking frat boy. What a weird video that was.
Yeah,
I guess that was the Gruden brothers.
No, they'll be back. The boys are back in town.
Hell yeah.
Also, just to go back to my point about who does Texas A&M think they are, they've had one double-digit win season in 20 years. So
yeah, they were never great, and they kind of act like they've been great. It's so what a weird fan
they
base.
Want to be,
but they have
too.
a lot of money though. They're like
they have more money than God.
Richest program in the country somehow.
They can't figure it out.
Oil money, baby.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like Texas A&M is deep in oil money.
Okay, I got you.
Deep in oil money. I mean, to be fair, all those Texas schools are rich as fuck. Like that's how SMU's like one of the richest schools, and they're a private school, so they don't have to disclose anything either. But like those boys got money.
Texas had to open up the books, and they showed that they were still making like millions a year just from having oil derricks somewhere.
It's crazy.
Okay, let's swing it back over to
the
NFL. Thanksgiving Day, my Lions carried their tradition of shitting the bed.
That was rough.
Had a chance to really just kind of show them but of course it was the moon, the waning or waxing gibbous moon. Whenever that is the moon, they're like 13-0. So you can't compete against that kind of history.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know, I think Jack Harlow.
I was gonna say, Maddie, what'd you think of the halftime show?
I've seen better sets in a snow globe. That was like a piss poor effort.
He's the most embarrassing.
It was
like how did this happen?
It was like the fourth best halftime show of the weekend, and there was only 4 of them.
Can you imagine a guy with that little talent, with that absurd way he talks, getting these opportunities where he gets to be Woody Harrelson on a TV show, gets to do these halftime shows where he's
like a huge pop star.
Wasn't Greg Olson like talking about how great the new White Men Can't Jump was?
That was a
lie. That was a promo.
Saying?
That was a promo. He got paid for that.
Yeah, he probably did.
He's like, I watched the new White Men Can't Jump, and he's a really good actor.
I watched it. I was high out of my mind. I thought it was pretty good.
Listen, if I was Jack Harlow's agent, and I would want him to get into acting, because you're like, look, you got like a year or two with this rap shit. You're not good at it. You're gonna be replaced. It's just reciprocal. Hence, Vanilla Ice is reciprocal. So you have a shot if you get into acting. But I'd probably advise you don't take over an iconic role from like one of the great actors who mastered this role. Like, you're not gonna, like, this is a very bad spot for you. Like, we'll stick to like a sitcom, or like you get killed in a horror movie. But he stinks.
Yeah, he bad.
Stinks.
Well, just the set was bad too. It just looked like they put out white tarps.
It looked like a middle school play where the middle schoolers
were just
made
kind
everything.
Of not even into.
He's so bad.
It was brutal. So, anyways, Jordan
Lions'
Love
first half was brutal too.
Yeah,
they just played like they were out of it.
No, they were not ready for that game. Everything was bad. Goff was terrible.
You know, they don't blitz, and I'm like, I remember John Madden used to say, like, a good defensive coordinator, they rush 4. When that doesn't work, you rush 5. When that doesn't work, you rush 6.
Sure.
They stuck to rushing 4 the whole time, and they're getting torched.
It was mind-boggling.
It was like you gotta send somebody. The one time they sent somebody, they stopped them.
No, I think it was a strategy. It's a long-term strategy, Maddie. It's let's make Jordan Love look like he's the quarterback of the future, so they don't go looking elsewhere, and then we'll just
Well, he has 2 good games in a row, and if he has time, he can sling it. But you got to put pressure on them. And Goff has like 5 turnovers the last 2 games. I'm not going to say they're regressing, but they look a little tired. Like they really, the losses, I feel like they have nothing left from the week before. So hopefully
Yeah. Well,
these
they'll have a
11 days off, they can regroup.
big long break now. So
Yeah.
hopefully they can regroup. Maybe they might just be, maybe it's a team that they're used to being the underdogs. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they're not the
Everybody's
underdogs
comfortable.
anymore. So you got to get used to being in that role
Yep.
too. So,
And you know what? They're lucky Minnesota shit the bed last night too.
yeah,
So they pretty much have a
Dobbs
cakewalk.
magic done, baby.
that was the
Yeah.
Iowa, Nebraska of
That
the
was an ugly
NFL.
game.
Yes, it was very ugly.
I had the Vikings money line and the over. How wrong was I?
Do you think the Bears should keep Fields? You think he's
That's
enough?
a tough one because I was thinking about it last night. Because like if there's like a CJ Stroud, like if there's a quarterback that can change a whole franchise around, and you don't take him,
People would say it about Caleb Williams.
yeah,
Well, who would you take if you had?
probably Caleb Williams for sure.
Okay, but they're going to get the number 1 pick most likely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take Drake May.
They might get the
Panthers
number
are
1
terrible.
and 2 somehow. Still.
Well, they would have to lose a few
Yeah.
more games. But I think if you're going to pick a skill position, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the
Yeah,
best.
I mean, I
Oh,
don't.
yeah. He's like, if you're just going best overall, I think
Yeah.
he's the guy.
Because
If
I'm
you
not
can't get
convinced
Caleb Williams-
on Caleb Williams yet either. Even though
Yeah,
he
that's
does
the
some
thing.
amazing things and looks great doing them, I still don't. You still got to read the defense. You got to stand in that pocket and you got to make throws.
Mhm.
Like that's
If
the
you
main-
can't get Caleb Williams, I'd probably go with like another player. But if you can get him, you might have to get him.
So you're all in on Caleb Williams.
Yeah, he's the only
Okay.
guy I'd be all in on. I like
Sure.
some of the other quarterbacks, but I think
I've heard a lot of smoke on Drake May still. Like he's been
I don't
quiet
like
now
him at all. I don't like him at all.
at all.
At all.
I've seen him. I mean, he can make nice throws. He can run a little, but like I've also seen, times where I'm like, really, this guy is the guy.
What
Like,
about
they're-
Penix?
I like him. I like him more because I think he has magic. I think he plays with like he just has these like.
I'm worried
instinctual
Penix won't
magic.
translate to the pros.
That's fine. That's fair enough.
Same thing with like Bo. Like I don't think
Bo translates.
I'm worried about both those guys.
I agree, but I think Caleb Williams is pretty darn good, and I understand the Drake May thing. People like Jaden Daniels. I don't know if he'll translate. He kind of plays like Bryce Young a little.
I will say, I
but-
think people are sleeping on JJ McCarthy.
But the
though,
one thing
'cause-
with the Bears is they
Maybe
are
for the pros, but like
but the one
yeah.
thing the Bears have to know is that like they don't know what to do because they fucked up. They could have Patrick Mahomes. They'll take that to their grave, and they're thinking about that. And
he wouldn't have been
very
nearly as good on the
dangerous.
Bears. I stand by that.
Dude, the guy's
Well, what you could
he's
do
awesome.
too is
What are you
okay.
talking
You could,
about?
you
Maddie,
could-
did you see him in college?
It doesn't matter.
No, like the Bears would have like found a way to ruin him.
Not
ruin him, but he wouldn't be what he is now.
I'm gonna argue with you with that because I read a lot of stuff about the Jets, and they're like, "Oh, the Jets ruined another quarterback."
I don't think the Jets
Bullshit.
ruined Zach Wilson.
Bullshit. He stinks.
But
And
there was
Cor-
a lot
and-
of there was a lot of issues in Mahomes' game with his footwork in particular. That like if he would have
would've
been on the
figured it
Bears,
out.
he wouldn't have sat behind someone for like a year. He would have started right away and he would have gotten scared. Like I still think he would have been pretty good. I don't think he'd be what he is now.
I hate that because I saw another guy talk about like, well, if Tom Brady was drafted by another team, he would have been a backup in the league for 5 years. This shit is dumb. The best quarterbacks rise to the top. The cream rises to the crop. I don't care. Put Patrick Mahomes on any team. He turns them around in a second.
Well,
He's
now he
that
does.
fucking good.
Now he does.
Well, the problem
Maddie,
too
when
is-
were you talking about Patrick Mahomes in like 2017 and 2018, huh?
I wasn't. I didn't know much about him.
Exactly.
But he was that good. I know guys like I remember guys on the Chiefs, even when he was sitting behind Alex Smith, who's a fucking idiot for going after my boy Brady this weekend like a dumb fuck you are.
I mean, he did play in like the easiest division of football. Like,
Wow.
every year.
I think Jimbo just wants to get under my skin.
Wow.
I agree that Tom Brady's the GOAT, but like you can't say that division was like not a gimme for the Pats every year.
Well, he made it a gimme.
No, the Dolphins and the Bills and the Jets being dog shit.
I'm liking Jim's heel turn here.
Yeah, Jim is great. I love it.
I love it too. I'm having a great time.
He's just
all right. So we have the Niners. The Niners beat the shit out of the Seahawks, so they look like they're back where they need to be. Jags top the Texans.
That was a good game.
That was a good game.
Hottest team in the league.
God, I wanted the Texans to win that one so bad.
Yeah,
we got the Broncos over the Browns though.
Broncos
now they're in the playoff hunt.
Mm-hmm.
They're hunting now.
What is that? 4 in a row? Is that 4 in a row for the Broncos?
5 or 6, I think.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Red hot.
Oh yeah. No, they're fucking doing great.
I mean, you got to be bad. You got to feel bad for Browns fans because if you just had a quarterback, I feel like they'd be a very legit contender. And they just can't find a guy, and they just keep getting hurt. Like
Sure.
DTR's out now, right? For a little bit.
Yes, I think so.
Watch in like a couple weeks. They'll be starting Joe Flacco.
I think so.
Yeah, so they've won 5 in a row.
I like Dorian Thompson-Green though. I thought he played pretty good.
I love him too.
You know, he got hit really hard, so I don't know if he'll play this week. Maybe he'll have a concussion. But I like him, and I think he'll do okay. I don't know. You know, he needs about 6 games to really see this season. But yeah, Flacco could get in there. You know, I could see that as well. But hey, hats off to you know, what the Broncos are doing, because after they lost to your Dolphins 70-20, I mean, everybody was like, this is a disaster fire, and they've turned it around.
Yeah, people were calling them like one of the worst teams in the NFL, and now
that's
sudden,
hard to
boom.
do, man. Like, I don't know, but they stuck to their guns, and now they're.
By the way, can I talk to you something about my new favorite bet?
What's your new favorite?
I
bet?
want to hear this.
I put a few bucks on almost every game. First half defensive touchdowns. You're getting at least 8-1 to 10-1 on first half defensive touchdowns. So the Jets Dolphins in the last 2 minutes.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I made like $80.
What'd you guys think of the Friday NFL game, by the way?
It was fun, but the Jets are such a disaster, and it was never really competitive. But those 2 defensive touchdowns, the Jets are known for famous plays like the butt fumble. Mm-hmm. So I've never seen a Hail Mary return for a touchdown.
I like dumbest shit in the world. Like,
I liked it, but I kind of had it on the background just because to me Black Friday is more of a college day. But it was also that play in particular, I was laughing my ass off.
I mean, I made $40-50 on it. I'm like, no way, he's gonna take it. Oh my god, this is insane.
Especially because I knew a lot of people that took Jets plus money first half.
Well, they got a lot of points. They got a lot of fucking points. But you know what? Jim, try that next week. Throw some money on.
I might give her a shot.
You're going to get at least 7-1 will be the worst you'll get. Some of these games you get 10-1. And it goes for special teams too. So that includes punts and kickoffs. And I'm telling you, it hits.
I might give it a shot, Maddie.
All right.
It's kind of like first half unders. Sorry.
We also had the Eagles over the Bills.
Great game.
Overtime.
But same
Bills
old
are now
Buffalo
6-6.
Was a great game.
Shitty.
Yeah.
Ravens over the Chargers.
You know, it's real quick. It's time for the Bills to move on from McDermott, and obviously Staley is now just they won't fire him during the season, but he's got to go.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, and Frank Reich gone. Not even 1 year.
That place is a disaster.
Yeah, that the Panthers are just bad ownership down, I think.
You know what's really amazing? That they gave up so much to get a quarterback when they had 2 quarterbacks that you can get, and they got the wrong one.
I don't know. I'm not out with him yet. We'll see.
Dude,
when you have a team that
fucking good.
But the team is just shitty.
It's also so hard to figure out. Like, you're kind of flipping a coin too.
I know, but they gave up guys too. It wasn't just like they picked the wrong guy.
Right. Yeah.
They gave up a lot of guys.
No, if he doesn't pan out, this is going to be
bad.
Real bad. Yeah, because especially when you see who the Bears take with that pick compared to like could have had CJ Stroud, could have had, you know, the number one pick. Well, if you had Stroud, maybe you wouldn't have the number one pick the next year. But
like last week, the Texans, they're not there just yet, but they're playing for their division. Like they're playing for their division lead after going two wins last year, and their quarterback is cooking.
Well, okay. Now they gave up DJ Moore for that pick too, right?
Yes, correct.
See, that's insane because he's single-handedly making Justin Fields look good by taking these passes.
He has. Yeah, Bryce Young has he has an old Adam Thielen to throw to, and that's it.
They go. He needs an elite receiver. You're like, well, you traded him, dummies.
Yeah, that's just a bad organization. So I'm not totally out of the Bryce Young.
No, I'm not either.
Club yet, but we'll see.
But CJ,
I really liked him in college. I thought he was a really clever quarterback. But
CJ Stroud is a beast, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's just hitting them. That is a prototype quarterback right there, prototypical quarterback, just standing there and slinging.
By the way, Jim, did you watch that hemorrhoids video with stuttering?
I did.
Did you like it?
I chuckled, Maddie. It was pretty good.
Maddie, describe to our audience what that video entailed.
You guys like it? When I take a deuce, I got my hemorrhoids and I wipe my ass. It's just blood. So I squeeze my butt cheese like a lemon. All the blood comes out in toilet paper. And I do it about 3 times.
So I think your description of it is even worse than watching it. Like it was just disgusting. So we got the NBA going on. I just want to shout out like how fucking terrible the Pistons are this year. This is they've lost 15 in a row. And this is like,
what's the record?
I don't know what the record is, but they could break it because they are fucking dysfunctional. And it just sucks because they had a great owner that got us 3 championships in a mid-market. Detroit's not as big of a market as it used to be. And he got us 3 championships. And now it's just to see that this owner doesn't give a shit and he just hires. I don't know. There's nothing going on in that organization that's good. They do have some good young talent too. They have some good young talent that might want to get the hell out of there if they can't get shit straightened out.
I don't really watch
28, by the way. 28 games
the record. Who was it?
It was the 76ers over the course of 2 different seasons.
Oh boy.
So the end of the 2014-2015 season and then the start of 2015-2016.
Yeah. I think the big news is
28 in a row.
For the sports hole.
What? Patrick Kane going to Detroit?
No. The fucking Corey Perry, I think his name is. He's a very good veteran player. He's playing a lot of teams. The Blackhawks released him because he was having, I think, sex with Connor Bedard, who's the number 1 pick, like the number 1 superstar, his mom.
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what's going on in hockey.
The
ice is hot in Chicago.
Yeah. Who's this number 1 pick they got? Connor what?
Well, Connor Bedard was like, he's the new darling, and he's like American too. So he's like, it's like when the Penguins drafted Sid the Kid. He's supposed to be that good. And I guess Corey Perry's like a veteran. He's been around for 15 years. He's kicked around a lot of teams. Very good player, though. And the word is that Corey Perry and Connor Bedard's mom were riding a happy horse. And
hell yeah,
I guess get him. That's it for Corey Perry there. I don't know what the problem is. Like, if you ever saw the movie Rookie of the Year with the great kid from American Pie, and his mom, you know that movie?
I know that. I know that movie. I've never watched it. Yeah,
he hurts his arm and it becomes bionic. So he can throw the ball like 120 miles per hour. Right. So the Cubs sign him, and then played by the great Gary Busey, his name is Chet Steadman, falls in love with his mom. And nobody cared about that. That was no problem. By the way, one of the great prank calls to Mike Francesa was a constant Chet Steadman. Like, have you seen this guy in the Cubs, Chet Steadman? He's a pretty good rookie. Never heard of him. Yeah, it was a con.
No, this always reminds me of Bill Murray's charity in Kingpin.
Yeah,
He's got that
great.
single moms
charity. Oh, that was
charity.
one of the best scenes ever. When he's playing football and she's the center, he's like, he goes, football. He's like, oh.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So anyways, the Pistons are fucking terrible. Blackhawks getting some stink on their hang low, getting released.
I mean, that's the hockey and the basketball report.
Hell yeah.
Well, no, I have one more interesting basketball news. So Mark Cuban is actually selling most of his shares of the Mavericks, and it's sent to the Adelson family, or the ones that own all the shit in Vegas. I think they are.
Maybe they'll move to Vegas.
Nah, I don't know, but
anyway,
but he's still like retaining control of the team, though. It's very bizarre.
Does anybody care about this in-play tournament?
No.
Does anybody know what's going on?
I don't know. No one knows.
I don't know what the hell's going on. And the commercials, like, they always like, let's get the dude from The Sopranos. He's like, I got a great idea. In-play, like, who's talking about this?
Which dude from The Sopranos?
Christopher Montes, whatever his name.
Michael
AJ Soprano. Who do you think it is?
They got AJ
Paulie Walnuts.
I thought they get Steve Van Zandt.
Yeah. They got Tony's son himself.
Yeah. No, this was like when college football teams try to create a fake trophy for a rivalry, a bad rivalry between the schools, and no one. What was that one a few years ago where someone just left the trophy on the sidelines because it was so stupid? I think it was like,
I don't know.
Hey guys, the semifinals are next Friday, so actually, sorry, next Thursday.
No, you get one championship. Jim, that's all people care about.
I'm gonna tell you this. I want Washington to win, but Oregon is gonna romp Washington.
I doubt that.
Talking 20 points.
I doubt it. Big titty lock of the week, Matty.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I love Michael Penix. I love what he's about. I love what he's done. I just think Oregon is like primed and ready and rested and with all the ammunition to win. And Washington's kind of hanging on by a string all these games.
Bodacious.
Oh, they're playing the semifinals and championship next week at neutral sites in Vegas.
Ooh.
For the NBA in-season tournament.
That actually would be fun to go to if you had a good team to root for, or you're just a big NBA fan. I mean, it's fun to see NBA.
I don't think this worked. You know what's worked is the thing that this worked for them is the play-in tournament games for the playoffs. I think the NHL
that has been a winner for sure.
That's a winner, but this hasn't really worked.
If you get named, if you're an all-tournament team, that's so stupid.
I mean, I do like during Christmas for shits and giggles, college basketball has some tournaments that are fun.
Yeah, because you get to see, some slob wearing a Hawaiian shirt, some
that's great. Mike Bray's the best, by the way. He doesn't coach anymore, but he was the best.
Wait, who is he coaching?
He used to coach Notre Dame.
Oh, okay.
And he used to wear khakis with the cargo shorts and then the shitty TJ Maxx Hawaiian kind of shirt, like not even a guy who works at Trader Joe's would wear.
No, I used to love those when I was a kid and I had time to actually watch all those games.
And they wear the lays, right?
Yeah.
You get to see Bill Fisher in a lay.
That was the Michigan. Yeah, Jawan wore that shit one year too.
By the way, Luke, trivia question.
Yes, sir.
What team did Bill Fisher leave Michigan for right before the tournament?
He left it for Arizona State.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a Michigan man right there.
Well, that's where the term Michigan man came from.
Yeah.
Because Bo Schembechler was the president of the sports or whatever. And he goes, we don't need that. We need a Michigan man coaching the Michigan team.
Bill Frater, not Bill Fisher. Bill Frater.
Yeah, Bill Frater. Yeah, because Steve Fisher's the one that was a success.
So, Jim, what happened was right before the tournament in 89, Michigan's coach signs a fucking contract to coach Arizona State the next year, 2 days before the tournament. And Bo Schembechler fires him. Steve Fisher takes over. I think they were a 6 seed. They win it all.
That's beautiful.
It was awesome. They won it on free throws at the end of the game.
Glenn Rice, Ramil Robinson. Good team.
Yeah.
Just an
Ramiro.
update. The Detroit Pistons are 0-4 in the tournament so far.
Oh
And
no!
guess who slept with Glenn Rice and during an Anchorage, Alaska tournament?
Wait, I think you've told this story before. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Sarah Palin.
Beautiful.
It's Dalen fucking Glenn Rice. I love it.
A lot of fun
man.
facts, XFL Jim.
Where did you hear that from, by the way?
She put it in her book.
Really?
Yeah, she wrote a book and she was a sports reporter and she said she slept with him.
That is awesome. I should have voted for her now.
Dude, I should have been on like some sports Jeopardy show.
Could be. There's a casino out here that runs a sports
Trivia
quiz show. Yeah,
dude.
Right.
That's awesome.
Let me know. I will
clean they had okay. This one I go to with some friends every night that is not a sports show. It's hosted by a drag queen, so they do mostly entertainment.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and they asked one sports question last night.
Yeah.
And I've gotten their sports questions before. And this time it was, what Beantown baseball player played the second most baseball games only behind Pete Rose?
Beantown baseball player played the second most.
My kind of question.
I'm gonna say Carl Yastrzemski.
You got it. I guess. I bet you'll guess what I guessed too.
You're gonna get Ted Williams.
I did. Yep, I did. Because
I knew Carl played. You know why you fucked up is because Ted Williams lost 3 years to the service.
Oh, okay.
Use your noodle, Luke. As Mike Francesa said one time. Use your noodle.
I do. I've told this before, but my high school drama teacher, her mom used to fuck Ted Williams when he was come through Michigan to play.
You know, also fuck Ted Williams.
Probably a lot of bitches.
This is gonna freak you out. Paul Westerberg's mother.
Oh yeah, it doesn't surprise me. He was getting.
She said that on Jim Rome.
What a life!
The AAA Red Sox team was in Minneapolis.
Yep.
Like in the 50s and 40s.
That's fantastic. Like he just nailed everyone. He nailed every baseball. He nailed all the women. And then his head fell off when they tried to freeze him and fight for his body at the end.
And Stuttering John asked him if he ever farted in the catcher's face. And he cursed him out.
Right. Like cheating on your wife nonstop is okay, but farts. Oh my God.
Have you ever seen, much. One of the great, when Stuttering John was funny, he interviewed Tommy Lasorda. He asked him why the weight came back on. Holy shit.
I'd love to find that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. One last bit of news. Jim, sorry to say, but Tammy Sonny Sitch.
I saw this on Instagram.
To prison for 17 years, but the good news is that body's just going to keep aging like fine wine.
Jim, before you get serious with this girl, I can get you her address. You can be prison pen pals. I'll get her to send her a model of her vagina. We'll get it to.
I will display it right here on the shelf.
Yeah. She can send you a pocket pussy from prison, or she can mold her vagina and she'll come out as fresh as a flower.
Do we think
what prison she's going to? There's a women's prison kind of like 45 minutes away from me. Maybe she's going there.
Probably somewhere on the East Coast because she's a Jersey girl.
Damn it.
It's not a federal crime. It's a local crime. What do you think she lives throughout her term?
I don't know.
You think she tries to start some shit?
Oh, I mean, she'll. I don't know. I don't know what. Maybe she'll become a Christian or something. That happens to a lot of people.
Born again.
Yeah. Born again, but then also scissoring with some other hot, sexy inmates, caged heat.
I like it.
All right.
I think she can make it.
She's gonna. Well, Jim, keep us posted in your letters to her, okay? And letters from her.
I will.
Dear Tammy.
Can you send me some of your sexy letters? You're like, I watch you.
I'm gonna get ChatGPT right on this.
You were the most downloaded woman in 1996, and I'm very proud to be your girlfriend.
The very first year of the internet.
Back then, the downloader would go.
Yeah, so you really had to wait for them picks.
One time I showed my dad, God rest his soul. I was like, Dad, you got to see this. And I bring him in the computer. We got a computer, and it would take like 10 minutes to load a naked woman. And he's like, what the fuck am I looking at? And I'm like, just wait, it's coming. And then he's like, okay. I'm like, she's naked. This is crazy.
Over the airways, man.
Nowadays, there's Brazilian fart porn. I mean, it's at the fingertips on your phone.
Yeah, I think between my dad and I, like my computer, that first PC just crashed nonstop. Like that was a different time. It's like,
and it's not even like the idea of like a naked girl was that exciting. It was just the idea of like, she's on your computer. This is crazy.
Yeah, I can get any naked girl on here.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, all right, guys, you got anything else to say before we get out of here?
Just enjoy your weekend. I'll take, I know it's like conference championship. I know we're getting to the end of the NFL season, but like, I'll take week 3 when you got a full slate of Saturday and Sunday. I'll take that over this shit any day, because you just feel it's like, wow, there's not 100 college football games on, and that's sad.
Especially with college football. Especially with college football, because it's going to be a very different looking college football next year.
I think this time will be more. I don't know how many bowl games we'll have next year, but the playoffs will be really fun.
Like, I'm just saying, not only that, giant SEC, giant Big Ten, no Pac-12.
Yeah.
And then the 12th, it's going to be weird.
It's going to be very weird, because the games won't matter as much the regular season anymore.
They won't. You can lose a game and you're okay.
You could lose a game. I'm sure a lot of teams will lose 2. Like,
I would not be surprised to see like a Big Ten or SEC champion with 2 losses.
Ohio State's got to feel kind of shitty too, because next year, if they beat Michigan, they're both like 1 loss or undefeated. Michigan's like, whatever. We're still in the dance.
Right. No, it's not like this ended at all. Like, there's almost no chance Ohio State can get in this year.
No.
And so that was known, and it's like, oh, that stops us right in our tracks. And
also,
yeah.
I was gonna say, shout out Michigan's schedule next year.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it, guys?
It's tough.
They got to play Texas. They play USC. They play Washington. They play Oregon, and they play Ohio State.
They've played too many cupcakes the last few years. So you know what? Go play some.
No, I'm loving it. I watched all the games this year, but they beat the shit out of almost. There was almost only the Maryland game, really. Yeah. I mean, in the Ohio State game was where I felt like
they also played week 0.
I mean, is it fun to watch them play Middle Tennessee State? Is it fun to watch them play Hawaii? Is it fun to I'd rather watch them play Texas.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think most people would. So this is the professionalization of college sports is what happened.
Yeah. The other, I mean, their opener, I guess it's a cupcake game. It is, but they could have picked an easier team. It is Fresno State. That's not a gimme for a G5. That's not. Fresno State's a good team.
Well, Michigan's going to have a new quarterback next year, so they'll,
they kind of actually do have to play the toughest 4 teams of the Big Ten.
I think Michigan's defense will be still quite good. The offense, we're going to lose our running backs, our QB, the whole battery there is like going to be gone. And all the receivers, I think all the skill positions are like.
Oh, they actually have it in the order that you guys are playing them in too. Bye week after Washington. You don't get a bye week before Ohio State, but they are your last team of the year.
It is. Okay.
You play Northwestern right before Ohio State. Oh. That's a fucking trap.
Yeah, it is. That is nothing but a trap.
That's a hell of a schedule, though, boys. I just looked that up.
It's going to be a fun season, but it's funny though, because you could all those teams too are like losing their quarterbacks and whatnot too. So we'll see. I don't know, but it's going to be fun regardless.
Well, much love to you, boys. We'll be in touch.
Right. Later, boys.
All right. See you guys. We'll see you guys next week for another edition of the Sports Hole.
Sports Hole.